And if you are not still on that sugar rush this morning after eating all the Halloween candy, the weather will certainly perk you up this morning, that's for sure.
That's right, yeah. Lots of kids out trick-or-treating last night, and everyone had their jackets on. Everyone looked great. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully everyone did enjoy their Halloween evening. The weather was great. It was definitely chilly, and guess what? It is cold this morning, so be sure you have those jackets with you as you head out the door. 41 right now in the city of Dublin. You're, of course, looking live on top of the Fred Roberts building. Area-wide, low to mid 40s. We're at 43 in Macon, 44 in Warner Robins, 45 in Forsyth, 46 in Montezuma, and 42 if you're waking up with us in Eastman. Much colder than this time yesterday, so this morning we're waking up significantly cooler, anywhere between, it looks like 5 to upwards of 13 degrees cooler, and that's just thanks to the lack of cloud cover and that cold air behind our front that was several days ago settling in very nicely. And our mostly clear start will translate into a nice and sunny afternoon. Temperatures are going to take a little while to warm. We'll still be in the mid 60s by lunchtime, and we'll top out in the low 70s. Some even colder air on the way behind this front. I'll let you know when to expect that and how cold we're going to be. That's all in just a few minutes.
Well, thank you, Courtney. Right now, Bibb County deputies are looking for a man who they say robbed a West Macon Dollar General. The sheriff's office says it happened just after 7 last night at the store on Thomaston Road. They got a report that a man with a gun went into the store and demanded money from the clerk. After taking cash from the safe, he fired a shot into the air and then ran away towards the back of the store. Now, thankfully, no one got hurt. A witness told the sheriff's office he wore a black hoodie, black jeans, and a skull mask. If you have any information, you can call the Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number, it's 1-877-68-CRIME.
Well, this morning we are working to learn more about what led up to a shooting in Crawford County that left a 30-year-old woman dead. The sheriff's office says it happened just after 9 Saturday night on the Church Street in Musella. That's off Highway 341. They requested the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to lead their investigation. The sheriff's office is waiting to release the victim's name until they can notify her family. All right, turning to election news, we're now just 1 day away from you casting your ballot in the November races. You can expect polls to open at 7 tomorrow morning in most places.
That's right. And if you're getting out to vote here in Central Georgia, here's what you'll decide. In Bibb County, voters will choose between yes and no. You'll decide whether to approve a special extra penny sales tax that's known as the OLOS. In Warner Robins, you'll vote on your next city leader. Current Mayor Randy Thomas is running for a 3rd term. He faces challengers LaRonda Patrick and Stephen Boyer.
Now, it's not the only mayor's race on the ballot. Dublin voters will decide who will be the next mayor of the Emerald City. Former Mayor Phil Best retired earlier this year. In Fort Valley, voters will choose who fills Mayor Barbara Williams' seat. She announced in August that she would not run for re-election. A couple other items up for a vote in Peach County. You'll decide whether to approve a transportation splost to fund road and highway projects. And in Wilcox County, voters will choose whether to continue an education splost to help fund school projects. Now, on election night tomorrow, 13 WMAZ will track results as they come in. So join us on 13 WMAZ News starting at 5 and 6 p.m. for our live team coverage. We'll hear from candidates ahead of the results and later at 10 and 11 when the winners are declared.
Happening today, Warner Robins City Council plans to vote on 2 items today centered around first responders. One thing on the agenda is a final vote on the police department using nearly $20,000 worth of grant money. It's to reimburse them for bulletproof vests. Mayor Tom says if approved, this will add up to $40,000 that the department has put towards the vest with 2020 and 2021 grant money. Council will also vote on applying for a grant that Governor Brian Kemp announced in September. It would give $1,000 to officers and firefighters certified throughout the state. Council is set to meet this afternoon at 5. Extra money could be on its way to several nonprofits here in Bibb County. Tomorrow, county commissioners are set to take a final vote on how they'll spend some COVID-19 relief funds. Last week, it passed through the Committee of the Whole to put $100,000 towards Meals on Wheels, over $16,000 to Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Heart of Georgia, and $30,000 to the Crisis Line and Safe House. Commission plans to meet tomorrow evening at 6. All right, let's take a look at some news happening across the state, starting with the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Jury selection in the trial of 3 men accused in the case enters its 3rd week this morning. Father and son Greg and Travis McMichael, along with William Roddy Bryan, face murder charges in connection to Arbery's 2022 shooting death. They have pleaded not guilty. Now, according to our station in Jacksonville, Florida, jury selection is likely to last until tomorrow or even into Wednesday.
So far, attorneys have qualified 55 potential jurors. That means they need 9 more before final jury selection can start. Court is set to pick up this morning at 8:30 in Glenn County.
State lawmakers getting ready for a once-in-a-decade redistricting process. They've already been busy drawing new lines and trying to figure out what congressional and legislative districts will now look like in Georgia. But on Wednesday, they will meet in a special session to tackle the process even more. According to Governor Brian Kemp's proclamation in September, the legislature will meet for enacting, revising, repealing, and amending general law to draw up these districts. Every 10 years after each U.S. Census, legislators start to look at every state and federal election district to make sure those districts are roughly the same size.
From the Capitol to the gridiron, the Atlanta Falcons will now be without a star wide receiver. Calvin Ridley announced yesterday that he's stepping away from the game to focus on his mental health. In a tweet he wrote, "These past few weeks have been very challenging. As much as I'd like to be on the field competing with my teammates, I need to step away from football at this time and focus on my mental well-being. This will help me be the best version of myself now and in the future." Wishing him the best of luck. Now, speaking of Atlanta sports, Braves fans, you may need to put on a brave face after the team's Game 5 loss. Just when it looked like Atlanta would win the World Series last night, the Houston Astros had other plans. The Braves started out fast, scoring a grand slam in the first inning, Caitlin.
Oh, so the excitement didn't last too long, though. The Astros took the game 9-5. But don't you worry. Atlanta still leads the series 3-2, so the team's still just one win away from their first World Series title since 1995. Game 6 kicks off just after 8 tomorrow night in Texas.
And Atlanta fans, the Braves can use all the support you've got, so keep on repping that team gear. Here's a few people who definitely understand the assignment. They understood the assignment. Jonathan and Renee say they've been supporting the Braves since day one. Shannon even dressed up as Freddie Freeman for Halloween to show her Brave spirit. I love that costume.
Here is Brandon at his first Braves game earlier this season. How sweet. He says he is cheering on the team to win the World Series. Now, we know there are plenty of Central Georgia fans out there rooting for the Braves, so how about you step up to bat and send us some of your pictures? We want to see all the Brave support out there, and we just might even share your photo. So make sure you text them to us. The number's there on your screen, 478-752-1309. And half the fun of watching sports is having an excuse to eat some great food, right?
I don't need an excuse to eat some good food.
That is true. Before you cheer on the Braves and try to relish a potential World Series championship, you need to catch up on a week that we are sure you don't want to miss.
Exactly. The 2021 edition of Macon Burger Week, it is here. The 4th year of the event runs from today through the 7th. 15 restaurants are participating. One major change diners will see this year is the cost. Now, the burgers, they're going to be $10 at each restaurant, a bit more than last year's $7 price, but we need to support our local businesses.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, these burgers look well worth it. Each participating restaurant has a stamp for when you try their burger. And at the end of the week, you can send in your stamped passport to be entered to win some prizes from the Georgia Beef Board, including burger-themed socks, things you didn't know you needed. We have more about the event and the full list of participating restaurants right now on 13WMAZ.com. Some of the burgers you'll see this year included one with spaghetti on top. Yeah, one with queso and fried avocado, which I am all about, and a burger between 2 apple fritters.
That is very, very interesting. I don't know, as I get older, time's now 6:30, 8 a.m., my body is just changing, so I just can't quite eat all the things that I used to do. That I used to eat rather. So might have to have a ginger ale on standby.
Oh, yeah.
It all looks so good, though.
They
And like
did.
the fact that they can come up with so many interesting combinations is so cool.
And every year, you know, they're obviously coming up with something different every year. There have been some people participating all 4 years. I mean, it's impressive. Things get pretty heated.
I was going to say
downtown.
they're competitive, and Okmulgee, they've won quite a few times, so I'm very interested to see. I'm sure the other spots are really going to be stepping up their game to compete.
I feel like that's who everyone tries to just go after. You know what I mean? Like, we just have to beat Okmulgee. All right, everyone. Well, yeah, 2 things that go great together: burgers and baseball. Of course, last night, a sad night in Atlanta because we did not win, but this right now, the calm after the storm at Truist Park. Of course, another game tomorrow night like we reported for you. Now, today, we kick off a new month, everyone. So what does that mean? We're going to start to see the leaves change, I'm sure. Some of you, like me, have probably already seen the leaves start to change in your neck of the woods. And in November is when we typically start to see our leaves peak. So that's when we'll see the most colors in the trees. I'll tell you that when I moved to Georgia, that was one of the things I was most excited about because obviously being from South Florida, we have a lot of palm trees, and the way palm trees work, they don't change colors, but they are still cool to look at. But that was one of the things I was really excited about, was getting to see the leaves change. And if you see the leaves changing in your neighborhood, send me some photos. I would love to see them, and I can show them on TV for you. It'd be really great. Okay, everyone, let's talk about what's going on This morning, it's cold out there, but it's only going to get colder. And that's thanks to this front that's currently to our north. Notice along it, though, you're not seeing much of anything at all. Not a lot of cloud cover. We're not seeing any rain and storm activity. This front is pretty weak, but it's not going to feel weak because the air that comes behind it is going to be very, very cold. And you can see in places like Nebraska and Colorado, snow. So that's how cold the air is behind this. Now, of course, we're not going to experience any snow here in central Georgia. We'll have to hopefully just cross our fingers that winter will bring that for us. But we are going to have some very cold air. That snow just giving you an idea of how cold the air is behind this system. 43 in Macon, 44 in Warner Robins, 43 in Gordon. It's cold out right now. It's only going to get colder as we go through the week. And 47 in Montezuma, 41 in Dublin and in Wrightsville. Through the afternoon today, expect low 70s, lots of sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be seasonable today is the best way to describe it. As we go towards 10 o'clock in the morning, temperatures are still going to be in the 50s and we'll gradually climb into the 70s. So you'll need to keep the jacket handy with you for most of the morning today because it's going to take a little while to warm up today. As we go through the day, we're also going to have that front moving through. You're not going to notice anything because it's a weak front. We're not going to have a blustery, windy day like our last front. Temperatures aren't going to drastically drop very quickly behind this. That cold air is going to just slowly move its way into the forecast. Now, we're also going to look ahead not only to colder air, but a rain chance. You can see out towards the west in parts of Mississippi, Alabama, some rain. That's not along a weather system. It's along a very small scale disturbance. We call them short waves in the meteorology world. And one of those will roll through our area and ultimately bring us a small rain chance as we head into Thursday and Friday. Pair that with the cold air that again is going to gradually usher in. It's going to be a cold rain on Thursday and Friday. So I'm telling you about it now. Just prepare for it. You're going to want to find a way to stay warm and dry on Thursday. So tomorrow, low 70s again, and then here comes that cold air behind that front. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s on Wednesday and then only near 60 as we head towards the end of the week. Here's a look at the rain chance. So the model's not necessarily in agreement on it, but just expect a small rain chance. No thunderstorm activity is expected. You can see the GFS a little bit more widespread when it comes to our rain chance. We'll keep a 40% coverage for now. That could change through the week. Most of the rain on Friday will be for the very early morning, and then we are dry as we head into the weekend, which is going to be even colder. So we'll be cold mornings with mild afternoons and dry through Wednesday. That small rain chance Thursday and Friday, but we're waking up in the 30s through the weekend.